if you're going to take care of my loved one, what do you stand for? What's most important to you, right? You guys really have made that so crystal clear. And I'm sure part of that is because of this partnership with Reverb, isn't it?
Yeah. I mean, I think values also is like less about what people say or what's up on the wall and how they actually like treat and interact with others. And so to be able to witness, employees at Chateau and how they partner internally and cross-functionally, and then in turn see how they serve their residents. I mean, I think that speaks volumes. That's how you know.
Welcome to the Answers for Elders radio show.
And welcome everyone to Answers for Elders radio network, heard across the USA and on your favorite podcast channel and on YouTube. We are here again at Chateau Retirement, and one of the things that we've been doing on Answers for Elders, if you're a regular listener, is we've been asking the question, who can you trust? There's a lot of changes happening in the world. There's a lot of changes happening in our industry. And one of the things that we can do better at as content creators is help you as a family or as a senior to ask the right questions of the people that you work with. And no doubt, we have seen a lot of change, a lot of unique things happening just in the whole cottage industry of elder care. As baby boomers are getting older, things that are changing governmentally. There's a lot of fear with seniors these days, different things like that. And so when you come across an organization that has been around for 25 years, that is incredible, especially an organization that is not only owns the buildings, but has managed and operated these buildings for as long as they have here in the greater Seattle area. And so I am very honored to have two individuals, amazing women, Tamra Godfrey, who is the CEO of Chateau Retirement, and Emily Senff, and you are with Reverb, and you work specifically with people development, and you're a partner, like an HR and people development partner with Chateau Retirement, and I want to welcome both of you to the show.
Thanks for having us.
Thank you.
This is a delight.
So Tamra, a lot has happened. You are now taking over the reins of CEO of the organization. And before we even start with our conversation, give me a little bit of background of what that's like to step into such amazing shoes that your father had.
Oh my gosh. Suzanne, it's daunting. For a long time, I was nervous, scared, also excited. And then when the date came around and we communicated and, I got feedback from the team and from our employees and from our residents, that anxiety kind of melted away. I was surprised that it was replaced with confidence. But it's feeling good. And my dad, Jim, is still there back of the house and still, a great consultant for me and really conscious of his role and his influence. So I feel very empowered.
And the mindfulness of continuing that legacy. You grew up with that legacy. So obviously there's a lot of powerful lessons that you've integrated throughout your life of the standard by which this organization stands with. Could you kind of tell me, just overview, what is that like to grow up with an amazing man like Jim Godfrey?
Oh gosh. It was great. We learned about business from a really young age. We learned about work ethic. We learned what it was like to be held to high expectations, and it really, helped us grow, and having those high expectations really pushed us.
Right. And obviously for you went through an extensive amount of education, amount of training, but also there was a long period of time where you were prepping for this role. So this just wasn't sprung on you. And with a partner like Reverb, which is a people development organization, you probably had an inside track on kind of that relationship since 2019, since you guys started working with Chateau Retirement with your organization. Is that correct?
Yeah. I rejoined the Chateau in 2023, and prior to that, my career was in HR.
Right.
So coming back to the Chateau, I was just so pleased and impressed that they had had this partnership and engagement with Reverb and this commitment to leadership development, to manager development, to people.
And you know, Tamra, one of the things that I've interviewed probably 20 to 30 people of your staff, which is, they're all amazing. And one of the things I ask almost everyone is, what is your organization's highest value? You know, what are your highest values? Almost every single person that I have spoken to says exactly the same thing. The more Chateau believes in taking care of their people first, they'll automatically take care of their residents.
Yep.
That is not only an incredible thing, it speaks to the tenure of how long your employees stay, which is way longer than the average in this industry, which shows me so much. But the quality of care that you provide, I go right back to 2006 when my mom was here. I never, ever had a concern about her quality of care. So this is something that's been going on for decades in your organization. Emily, you came on the scene in 2019, correct?
Correct.
Tell me about the two of you. How did you start working together?
Yeah, I can share a little bit, Tamra.
Yeah, please do.
Yeah, so Reverb started partnering with Chateau in 2019, and the team connected with us in the way that many of our clients do, which is they just needed some initial consultation and help, and that was sort of the start of a long-standing partnership. And Tamra and I have had the great pleasure of working closely together over the last few years. And I think the thing that has mattered most about our partnership is our shared values that you speak to, Suzanne. So, I mean, they provide exceptional care to residents. They take exceptional care of their people. And that's really aligned with how we want to work with and serve, our clients. We both from a place of being very genuine and authentic, kind, doing the right thing. And so that values alignment, I think, has really allowed us to flourish together.
And, you're talking about values, and so many times I've gone into senior living communities and I ask the same question: what's your highest values? To me, that's a really crucial and critical question for families to ask, because it's something that tells, a family, if you're going to take care of my loved one, what do you stand for? What's most important to you, right? You guys really have made that so crystal clear. And I'm sure part of that is because of this partnership with Reverb, isn't it?
Yeah. I mean, I think values also is less about what people say or what's up on the wall and how they actually treat and interact with others. And so to be able to witness, employees at Chateau and how they partner internally and cross-functionally, and then in turn see how they serve their residents. I mean, I think that speaks volumes. That's how you know.
Yeah. And so, Emily, you guys work with different types of organizations and things like that. What stands out to you about Chateau Retirement?
Oh, gosh. I always tease Tamra that Chateau is just one of our most delightful clients to get to partner with. I mean, there's a couple of things that stand out to me. One, about how much they really do care about doing the right thing, and doing the right thing sometimes doesn't always mean it's the easy thing to do. So we really admire that about them. I think the other thing is they truly are a partner to us. And I'll highlight, when Tamra was preparing to, step into her leadership role, and there was a very thoughtful plan in place from Chateau about how to make that transition. They brought us along as a partner in that. They communicated that to us. We talked about how we could support, that transition and that time of change. And we worked together to figure out, what was that plan. So those are two things that I would really highlight about them being an amazing partner.
And it's incredible to me when we talk about longevity of your people. You just don't see that in senior living very often at all. And there's such a high turnover. So And the challenge is a lot of times in senior living is because management companies will turn over in a building as well. And then there's a whole new amount of staff that has to deal with. You guys don't have any of that baggage. And I'm saying that because you have such an amazing employee development type program. And that partnership started, small, but how did it evolve, Tamra?
Yeah, so with Reverb, we started focusing on manager training. And this was kind of as needed.
Right.
And then we found that it gained traction and our managers really enjoyed it and were becoming stronger.
Right.
So we developed a longer term programming for our managers. Our managers are the ones taking care of our line staff who are delivering care, interacting with people every day, and taking care of them is the most important thing. And our managers do that. So we built out programming with Reverb's help and Adrian's help, who is one of the instructors and facilitators, and that is ongoing to this day. We have programming throughout the year.
Yeah, right. And obviously through these types of programs, you're growing your people. They have opportunities now for advancement. And I know a lot of your employees have advanced in the organization. So there is a path to advance, and that's amazing.
Yeah, absolutely. We love to promote from within. We want people to develop and to grow into new positions, and part of this training really enables that.
Yeah, well, I can totally understand that for sure.
Yeah.
And so, Emily, you've been involved from a long time, but I want to talk just a little bit sideways. The senior living industry went through a huge ordeal during COVID. And I want to bring that up now because I think one of the things that a lot of organizations did is they downsized because they needed to. They thought they needed to. Chateau didn't do that. So tell me a little bit about what you guys did during COVID.
Wow, during COVID. So our engagement with Reverb started right before COVID. And I really think that was timely because COVID was so challenging.
Yes,
our entire workforce.
Overwhelming.
So understanding how much that training and that time dedicated to people meant to people, especially while they're, helping our residents and our caregivers and our staff through the crisis, was huge. And it was challenging. And I don't think we could have done it without Reverb. They had that outside perspective. We were in the trenches every day. So having them come in and bring some light and some perspective during that time was important.
Yeah.
Honestly, I think Chateau doubled down. Like they did. If you think about it, we really did start our work together right before COVID, and they just continued that work. They knew how much it mattered to take really good care of their people so that in turn they could take care of their residents and their families, and leading through unprecedented, uncertain times, really requires a lot of support for your employees and your staff. And I think that's what I'm talking about when you are speaking about values, Suzanne, about doing the right thing, even though it might be really hard. Exactly. So those were tough decisions to be able to make that investment during these really tricky times. And they stayed committed to that. And I think that allowed them to really focus on what are the specific needs of their employees and staff so that then they could provide excellent service, to families and residents.
I've been told, by different staff members that not only did you guys keep all of your staff, you didn't downsize, but the other thing that you did is you actually upped their pay to hazard pay, which to me is just, I don't know how many people in this industry, and this didn't come from Tamra telling me that. This came from one of your employees told me how amazing that was. That to me tells me so much of how important this organization has been to them in their lives and how you've always taken care of them. And that's what's so powerful. And obviously, Reverb, Emily, you guys working within that, you had, I'm sure, a lot of discussions about how to honor your staff.
When you take care of your team and they're the ones then are taking care of your ends, how good does it feel to be really well taken care of? I think the way that we were able to support Chateau with that is talking at various levels of the organization, about what does that look like to do the right thing. So, we were supporting the executive level team with some of their vision, but then we were working with managers too on the ground so that they felt really supportive. So we are always coming from the perspective of, do the right thing for your people. And not all organizations are willing to do that, So Chateau is they care very deeply about all people. And that really shines through, I think, in especially their business decisions.
Yeah. And you mentioned the word vision. You obviously work together for a vision for the future. How do you see this organization evolving over the next 5 years?
I think we continue to double down on our people. We're a service-driven industry, and we cannot take our employees for granted.
Right.
They are the ones delivering the service every day. Without them, we're empty buildings. I think that carries through to manager training, enabling our managers to be really change agents and ready for a demanding workforce with high expectations, because we need those managers to evolve with the workforce.
Sure, and evolve with the times, because obviously as the world changes, everyone else needs to change, right? And obviously the needs of your residents become unique as well.
Absolutely. Our residents become more sophisticated, more demanding in the best way. It makes us better. And we need a workforce that has the capacity and the support to continue to deliver on what we promise.
Well, and even the things that you're doing like with AI and fall prevention and things like that we have featured on your podcast, these are huge investments that you guys have made into embracing the future. And so anyway, we're going to learn a little bit more about the relationship between Chateau Retirement and Reverb, and we'll be right back right after this.
Did you know that you can discover hundreds of podcasts in our library on senior care? So visit our website and discover our decision guides that will help you also navigate decision making. Find us at answersforelders.com.